Hi students, this is Botany PSR. Today we will discuss a new chapter called Plant Kingdom. Plant Kingdom is also called Plantae. Plant Kingdom is also called Plantae. In the previous class, that is in the Plant Kingdom, different types of systems are there. In the previous class, we discussed about different types of systems: artificial system, natural system, and phylogenetic system. Today, what are the groups found in plant kingdom or Plantae? So, according to Whittaker's classification, this plant kingdom belongs to fourth kingdom, isn't it? What are the five kingdoms in Whittaker's classification means? Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, Animalia. These Plantae are eukaryotes. These plants are multicellular organisms. Eukaryotic. Next one, these are autotrophs. Autotrophs means which can prepare their own food materials by the process of photosynthesis. So, what are plants or Plantae means? These are eukaryotes. What are the important characteristics of eukaryotes means? True nucleus present, membrane bound cell organelles present. Next, cell wall is made up of cellulose in plants, and these are autotrophs. Autotrophs means which can prepare their own food materials by the process of photosynthesis. Right, this is the plant kingdom classification. Plant kingdom, also called Plantae, divide into two main groups. One is called cryptogams, second one is called phanerogams. Cryptogams or cryptogame, phanerogams or phanerogame. Cryptogams are also called non-flowering plants or flowerless plants, whereas phanerogams are also called flowering plants. That is, cryptogams are flowerless plants, these phanerogams are flowering plants. These cryptogams are again divided into three groups: algae, bryophyta, pteridophyta. Algae, bryophyta, pteridophyta. That means in the tabular form, which are present at the beginning, those are considered as primitive. Which are at the end of the tabular form, those are considered to be the advanced plants. Like that you have to consider. Phanerogams contain only one group called spermatophyta or spermatophytes. Spermato means seeds. Phytes means plants. The plants that produce seeds are so called spermatophytes. Right. Phanerogams contain only one group called spermatophyta. Spermato means seeds. Phyta means plants. The plants that produce seeds are called spermatophytes. These are divided into two groups: gymnosperms, angiosperms. Gymno means naked. Sperms means seeds. The group that are having naked seeds are called gymnosperms. Angio means enclosed. Sperms means seeds. The seeds which are enclosed are called angiosperms. So that is, seeded plants are called spermatophytes. These are again divided into two groups: gymnosperms, angiosperms. Angiosperms is again divided into two groups: dicotyledonnae, monocotyledonnae, or simply dicots and monocots. Di means two, cots means cotyledons. A seed with two cotyledons is called dicotyledonnae. A seed with one cotyledon is called monocot or monocotyledonnae. You have to in the beginning of the table which are present means those are considered to be the primitive organisms. Which are at the end of the tabular form, those are considered to be the advanced organisms. What does it mean? The primitive cryptogams are, primitive means we have to in the beginning of the tabular form. Primitive cryptogams are algae. Advanced cryptogams are pteridophytes. Primitive cryptogams are algae. Advanced, evolved cryptogams are pteridophytes. Similarly, primitive spermatophytes or primitive phanerogams are gymnosperms. Advanced phanerogams or spermatophytes are angiosperms. Primitive angiosperms are dicots. Advanced angiosperms are monocots. One point you have to remember, my dear students, dicots are primitive and monocots are advanced plants. Try to remember which are advanced means monocots are advanced, which are primitive means in angiosperms dicots are primitive. So, angiosperms are divided into two groups, dicots and monocots. Dicots are considered to be the primitive group, and whereas monocots are considered to be the advanced group in angiosperms. So, these are the non-flowering plants, these are the flowering plants. Now, I am asking which are called the seeded plants, both gymnosperms and angiosperms. Non-seeded plants. Non-seeded plants means these are all non-seeded plants, algae, bryophyta, pteridophyta. First seeded plants, gymnosperms. First seeded plants, gymnosperms. Gymnosperms are also called naked seeds. Why these are so called naked seeds means these gymnosperms are the plants without ovary. That is, seeds are present but without ovary. Whereas in angiosperms, both ovary and seeds are present. After fertilization, ovary will develop into fruit. Ovules develop into seeds. That means name the group in which both fruits and seeds are present. Both fruits and seeds are present means angiosperms. Name the group in which only seeds are present and fruit is absent. Seeds are present but fruit is absent means gymnosperms. Right, these are all the non-flowering plants, these are all the flowering plants. Connecting link between non-flowering and flowering means we have to say pteridophyta. Connecting link between non-flowering and flowering is pteridophyta. Right. In plants, cell wall is made up of cellulose. All organisms having cell wall are all those organisms are placed in plantae? No. So, that is the cell wall organisms are excluded from, separated from plantae. What are those means? One is fungi, monera and protista. The following are excluded from plantae, separated from plantae, but they possess cell wall are fungi, monera, protista. The connecting link between cryptogams and phanerogams is, that is non-flowering and flowering is pteridophyta. Now look at here, one by one we have to discuss. So let us learn about algae. Algae are chlorophyll bearing, that is they contain chlorophyllous tissue, simple thalloid. The plant body is called thallus. What is meant by thallus or thalloid? If the plant body is not differentiated into, undifferentiated into root, stem and leaves, the plant body which is not differentiated into root, stem and leaves, it is called thallus or thalloid. Algal body is called thallus or thalloid. And autotrophic, that means which can prepare their own food materials by the process of photosynthesis. Next one, non-embryophytes. Algae are non-embryophytes, that is embryo is not found in their life cycle. Very, very important. So, algae are autotrophic non-embryophytes. Don't say embryophytes. From bryophyte onwards, all the organisms are embryophytes. Algae, generally they do not possess embryo in their life cycle. Right. Habitat. Most of the algae are aquatic. That is, they may live in fresh water or they may live in marine water. Some algae live on moist stones, some algae live on wood, some algae live in soil. Some algae are associated with fungi. Algae and fungi association together called lichens. This is very, very important. So, algae is in association with fungi is called lichen. Lichens means how many components are there? Two components. One is algal component, another one is fungal component. Algal partner is called phycobiont. Fungal partner is called mycobiont. Next, some algae associated with animals. That is, example, some algae will live on sloth bear. Some algae will live on bear. Sloth bear means lazy bear. Right. Size or thallus. Some algae are unicellular. Some algae are unicellular. That is Chlamydomonas, Chlorella, Spirulina. These are unicellular algae are Chlamydomonas, Chlorella, Spirulina. Colonial. Colonial means a group of organisms live together. Colonial also called Cenobium. Example, Volvox. Next, filamentous. Filamentous means multicellular, many cells in nature. That is Ulothrix, Spirogyra. You have to remember the examples. Next, massive plant body. That is kelps like Laminaria. Massive plant body means these organisms may spread up to 100 meters. Up to 100 meters. Massive. Massive means more. So, they spread over up to 100 feet. Up to 100 meters. Up to 100 meters they spread. So, that is so called massive plant body. That is example kelps like Laminaria. Laminaria. Right. Unicellular algae means Chlamydomonas, Chlorella, Spirulina. Colonial algae is, that is Volvox. Filamentous algae is Spirogyra, Ulothrix. Spirogyra, Ulothrix. Massive plant body, example Laminaria. Laminaria will grow up to 100 meters. They grow up to 100 meters. Which grow up to 100 meters, they are commonly called kelps. Commonly called kelps. Example for kelps means Laminaria. Now, what is the cell wall material in algae? Cell wall material in algae is made up of cellulose and carbohydrates. Cell wall is made up of cellulose and carbohydrates. In biomolecules, we read that cellulose is a homopolymer. Cellulose is a homopolymer. This cellulose is commonly called storehouse of energy in plant tissues. Storehouse of energy in plant tissues. Starch is commonly called storehouse of energy in plant tissues. Right. In algal cell wall is made up of, that is cellulose and carbohydrates. Reserve food material in algae is starch. This starch is commonly called storehouse of energy in plant tissues. Storehouse of energy in plant tissues. This algal cell wall, one of the most important point is algal cell wall. Algal cell wall is made up of cellulose, galactans, mannans, and minerals like calcium carbonate. Algal cell wall is made up of Algal cell wall is made up of cellulose, galactans, mannans and minerals like calcium carbonate. This point will come in unit of life lesson. Okay, right. What do you call the storehouse of energy in plant tissue means? You have to say starch. Starch is a homopolymer. Cellulose is also homopolymer. Cellulose is also homopolymer, homopolysaccharide. Which one is considered to be the storehouse of energy in plant tissue means you have to say starch. This starch can have complex helices which can hold iodine molecules. So that is, it will give blue color with iodine test. Next, what are the photosynthetic pigments found in algae? Chlorophyll, carotenoids and phycobilins. These phycobilins are found in which algae means red algae. Actually, algae is of three types: green algae, brown algae, red algae. What are the three types means? Green algae, brown algae, red algae. Phycobilins are found exclusively in red algae, not in other algae. Phycobilins are not found in green algae, brown algae. So that is, what are the photosynthetic pigments found in algae means chlorophylls, carotenoids, phycobilins. These phycobilins are found in red algae. Next, what are the types of reproductions? This is very important topic, my dear students. Try to concentrate. What are the three types of reproductions means? Vegetative reproduction, asexual reproduction, sexual reproduction occur. That is, all the three types of reproductions occur in which group means both algae and also fungi. All the three types of reproductions, that is vegetative reproduction, asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction, all the three types of reproductions occur in groups called algae and also fungi. Right. Vegetative reproduction occurs by a method called fragmentation. What does it mean, fragmentation? When an organism is split into number of fragments means each fragment later develops into a new organism. That is so called fragmentation. Example, you may say Spirogyra. Example, you may say Spirogyra. Next, asexual reproduction. The reproduction that occurs by spores. By spores is called asexual reproduction. These are of two types. Which show motility are so called zoospores. Which do not show motility are so called aplanospores. That is, zoospores found in green algae, brown algae. Aplanospores found in red algae. Try to remember, that is, spores are non-motile in red algae. Spores are motile in green algae, brown algae. Very important. Next one, sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction is of three types: isogamy, anisogamy, oogamy. That is, sexual reproduction is of three types: isogamy, anisogamy, oogamy. Isogamy means both the two gametes are morphologically and physiologically similar. Anisogamy means both the two gametes are, that is, both male and female gametes are morphologically and physiologically dissimilar. That is so called anisogamy. Isogamy non-flagellated found in Spirogyra. Isogamy and flagellated found in Ulothrix. That is, flagellated means the gametes show motility. Non-flagellated means the gametes are non-motile. Isogamy and non-flagellated found in Spirogyra. Isogamy and flagellated found in Ulothrix. Very important points, my dear students. Let's concentrate. Anisogamy, both the two gametes, one will be considered as male gamete, other will be considered as female gamete. Both male and female gametes are morphologically and physiologically dissimilar, different. That is so called anisogamy. Anisogamy found in Eudorhina. Try to remember the examples. Isogamy non-flagellated found in Spirogyra. Isogamy, flagellated, found in, that is Ulothrix. Anisogamy, found in Eudorhina. Oogamy means the male gamete may be non-motile or motile, and the female gamete is large, stationary, non-motile. Male gamete may be motile or non-motile. The female gamete should be large and non-motile. That is so called oogamy. Oogamy found in Volvox fucus. Volvox belongs to green algae. Fucus belongs to brown algae. That is, the green algae showing oogamy is Volvox. Brown algae showing oogamy is fucus. Green algae also called chlorophysi. Brown algae also called phaeophysi. Green algae also called chlorophysi. Chloro means green. Pheo means brown. Green algae also called chlorophysi. Brown algae also called phaeophysi. So, all the three types of reproductions found in algae and fungi. After Whittaker came, this fungi was treated as a separate kingdom. Fungi was treated as a separate kingdom by R.H. Whittaker. Okay? So, please note down all these points, my dear students. Right. What type of life cycle do you find in algae? That means generally haplontic life cycle is found. So that is, in algae, life cycle is generally haplontic life cycle. Generally haplontic life cycle. In algae, generally haplontic life cycle is present. Or algae are non-embryophytes. That is, algae do not show embryo in their life cycle. What is the reason? Because zygote undergoes meiosis. Zygote undergoes meiosis. Very, very important point. Why the algae generally show haplontic life cycle or the algae are non-embryophytes means these algae, in algae, zygote undergoes meiosis. Don't say mitosis. Okay. Next, algal plant body is called thallus. Thallus means, or simply say gametophyte or thallus. Ploid is haploid. Don't say diploid. Algal plant body is called thallus or gametophyte, which is haploid. What are the different types of life cycles? In algae, mostly what type of life cycle do you find? Haplontic life cycle. It is exhibited by majority of algae like, most of the algae like Spirogyra, Volvox, Chlamydomonas. That is, meiosis occurs in zygote. Zygote undergoes meiosis. The cell that undergoes meiosis is called meiocyte. Which cell acts as a meiocyte in algae means zygote. The cell that undergoes meiosis is called meiocyte. And haplodiplontic life cycle found in Ectocarpus, Laminaria, Polysiphonia. Ectocarpus, Laminaria, Polysiphonia. That is, meiosis does not occur in zygote. These are the exceptions. Generally, zygote undergoes meiosis. But in these organisms, these three plants, meiosis does not occur in zygote. Mitosis occurs in zygote. Embryo is found in the life cycle. Embryo is generally not found in the life cycle of algae. But the algae showing embryo in their life cycle means Ectocarpus, Laminaria, Polysiphonia. Life cycle is haplodiplontic found in. Life cycle is haplodiplontic. Life cycle found in means Ectocarpus, Laminaria, Polysiphonia. Next, diplontic life cycle found in. Diplontic life cycle found in, that is Fucus. In Fucus, what is the dominant phase is? Dominant phase is sporophyte, which is 2n in condition. Generally in algae, the dominant phase is gametophyte or thallus, which is haploid. But the algae with the dominant phase is sporophyte is Fucus. Don't say ficus, it is Fucus. Fucus is commonly called rockweed. Fucus is commonly called rockweed. In these three organisms and this also, embryo is found. Embryo is found in the life cycle. Next, what are the uses of algae? Economic importance of algae. Nearly half of the total CO2 fixation occurs on Earth by algae through photosynthesis. That is, these algae live in water, no? So this water may contain number of algae. Number of algae means nearly half of the CO2 fixation. Nearly half of the total CO2 fixation. Nearly half of the total CO2 fixation occurs by algae. By process, CO2 is fixed by which process means photosynthesis. During photosynthesis, CO2 is fixed and O2 is released. First primitive oxygenic organisms are cyanobacteria. Don't say bacteria. That is, during photosynthesis, O2 is released. Whereas in bacteria, O2 is not released. Instead of oxygen, sulfur is released during photosynthesis. So, bacterial photosynthesis, which one is released means sulfur is released instead of oxygen. Whereas in cyanobacteria and plants, which one is released means oxygen is released. That one you have to remember. Some bacteria may perform photosynthesis. Okay. They release, what is the end product means? Bacterial photosynthesis, which one is released means sulfur or sulfate is released. Whereas in cyanobacteria contain photosynthetic pigment called chlorophyll A, which is similar to higher plants. So, the cyanobacteria and green plants can perform photosynthesis by releasing oxygen. Being photosynthetic, photosynthetic means which gas is released means oxygen is released. So, they increase the level of dissolved oxygen. Increase or decrease means you have to say increase. Why increase amount means during photosynthesis O2 is released outside. O2 is releasing outside means that is oxygen is increased. So, increased the level of oxygen level is increased in the water. So, very, very important. During photosynthetic algae decrease the level of dissolved oxygen. Wrong. Increase the level of dissolved oxygen. True. Why? Because algae are photosynthetic. Photosynthetic means taking of O2, release of taking of CO2. Photosynthetic means taking of CO2, release of O2. As O2 is released out means O2 level is increased. So, being photosynthetic, algae increase the level of dissolved oxygen. Don't say decrease the level of oxygen. Right. Algae are primary producers in aquatic ecosystem, which are considered as primary producers in aquatic ecosystem or in food chain means algae. But diatoms are called chief producers. Primary producers means you have to say algae. Chief producers in oceans means you have to say diatoms. Diatoms means that is belong to chrysophytes of Protista. which are called primary producers means algae. Chief producers in oceans means that is diatoms. Right. Number of marine species of algae used as food means 70. 70 marine species of algae are used as food. Out of 70 marine species, 3 examples we are learning. That is sargassum, laminaria, porphyra. These are marine species. That is they live in marine water. So number of marine species used as food means 70. Of those 70, how many examples we are learning? 3. Sargassum, laminaria, porphyra. Sargassum laminaria belongs to brown algae, also called Phaeophyceae. Porphyra belongs to class Rhodophyceae, that is red algae. To remember easily, SLP. SLP, this is the word popularly used in respiration, substrate level phosphorylation. What is the abbreviation for substrate level phosphorylation means? SLP, right, that code. What is the marine species of algae used as food means? Code is SLP here. Sargassum, laminaria, porphyra. Sargassum laminaria belongs to brown algae. Porphyra belongs to red algae. Next, some marine brown algae and red algae produce hydrocolloids. Hydrocolloids means hydro means water. The colloid substances which are useful to absorb water, moisture, those are so called hydrocolloids. The hydrocolloid produced from brown algae is called algin. Red algae is called carrageen. Right. Hydrocolloids, algin and carrageen. Algin, it is obtained by brown algae. Carrageen means red algae. Try to remember, I am telling the code. Red algae, R sound is there. Carrageen, R sound is there. That is the code to remember. So the brown algae, the hydrocolloid produced from brown algae called algin. The hydrocolloid produced from red algae called carrageen. Brown, last letter is N. Algin, last letter is N. Like that you may remember. So the hydrocolloid produced from brown algae. Brown means last letter N, algin. Red algae means carrageen. Right. Next, some algae will produce agar-agar. It is an inert polysaccharide. It is a polysaccharide which is obtained from red algae like Gracilaria gelidium. How can you remember? Agar-agar, this is one G, this is another G. One G indicates Gracilaria, another G indicates gelidium. Agar-agar is obtained from red algae like Gracilaria gelidium. These two organisms belongs to red algae. Don't say brown algae. Now they will ask like this. Agar-agar or simply agar is obtained from brown algae like Gracilaria gelidium. False. Those two, Gracilaria and gelidium, belongs to red algae. Don't say brown algae. Agar-agar is obtained from red algae like Gracilaria gelidium. True. Agar-agar is obtained from brown algae like Gracilaria and gelidium. False. It is used as an ingredient in tissue culture for semi-solid culture medium. That is, this agar-agar is used as a ingredient in tissue culture. Tissue culture. Next, it is used for microbial growth. That is to grow the microbes, to grow the microorganisms. Next, it is also used in the preparation of ice creams and jellies. Which one is used in the preparation of ice creams and jellies means agar-agar. Agar-agar is obtained from red algae. Don't say brown algae. Red algae like Gracilaria gelidium. Next one, it is used as an ingredient in tissue culture. It is also useful for microbial growth. It is also useful in the preparation of manufacture of ice creams and jellies. Next, iodine. This iodine is obtained from algae like kelps like laminaria. Iodine is obtained from laminaria. Laminaria belongs to brown algae. Laminaria belongs to which group means kelps. What are kelps means? Which grow up to 100 meters. Which grow up to 100 meters are called kelps. Example for kelps is laminaria. Iodine is obtained from laminaria. Next, spirulina and chlorella. These are used as SCP. SCP full form is single cell protein. These are used as food supplements for astronauts. Astronauts means the scientists who will do research on, that is, in the sky. Okay, that is who will do research on in the sky. Those are so called astronauts. So these spirulina and chlorella, these are used as SCP, that is single cell protein. These are used as food supplements in astronauts, that is space travelers, which are used as a food supplements in space travelers. Spirulina, chlorella. Next one. This is not in NCERT, but very important point, my dear students. Generally, algae are not parasitic. Parasitic algae is Cephaloras. Generally, algae are non-parasitic, autotrophic. But parasitic algae is Cephaloras. Chlamydomonas and chlorella. According to Whittaker, these two organisms are included in kingdom called Protista. These are earlier included in Plantae. This is somewhat you may confuse. So, according to Whittaker, these two organisms are included in Protista. Why? Because Chlamydomonas is unicellular, chlorella is unicellular. These two are eukaryotes. These two organisms are eukaryotes. So, unicellular eukaryotes are placed in which kingdom? Protista, according to Whittaker. But these two organisms are earlier placed in Plantae. Did you understand, my dear students? Right. So, please note down all these points and what is algal classification, on what basis algal classification is based on. These points we have to discuss in the next class. Okay? I hope you understood. In the next class, we will discuss about algal classification and on what criteria the algal classification is based on. These points we will discuss in the next class. So, please note down all these points. Okay? And we will meet in the next class.